You might think you are just eating a meal, but biochemically, you might be cooking yourself from the inside out. There is a process happening in your blood right now, and it's tightly related to your daily habits. It is the exact same chemical reaction that turns a piece of bread into toast, or turns a raw steak into a seared, brown steak. It's called browning. And when this happens to your cells, you don't just get tired, you age. Your skin wrinkles, your arteries stiffen, and your energy plummets. But we can stop the burning. Welcome to Levitas. Let me ask you a question that I want you to answer honestly. Have you ever eaten lunch, felt fine for about 30 minutes, and then, suddenly, at 2 or 3 p.m., you hit a wall? Your brain feels like it's full of cotton wool, your eyelids get heavy, and you feel like you need caffeine or sugar just to survive the afternoon. If that sounds like you, hit the like button right now and comment the word energy down below. It really helps the channel with the algorithm, and I read every single comment. Here's what is happening during that afternoon crash. It is not a character flaw, it is physiology. When you eat a meal high in rapidly absorbing starches or sugars without the right protection, your blood glucose shoots up vertically. This is the spike. Now, your body views high blood sugar as a dangerous emergency. It damages blood vessels. So, your pancreas floods your system with a hormone called insulin. Think of insulin as the frantic cleaning crew. It shows up and stuffs that sugar away into your cells as fast as possible. But often, because the spike was so high, the insulin response is too aggressive. It clears the sugar too well. Your blood sugar doesn't just return to normal, it crashes below baseline. This is called reactive hypoglycemia. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism in 2013 showed that these sharp fluctuations are directly linked to cognitive deficits. That fog you feel? That is your brain crying out for fuel because the insulin swept it all away. Sugar literally cooks your collagen. But the energy crash is just the short-term problem. The long-term problem is the caramelization I mentioned at the start. This is where we need to talk about your skin and your longevity. There is a process called the Maillard reaction. In cooking, it's when sugar reacts with protein under heat to create that delicious brown crust on a steak or crème brûlée. In your body, this happens at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, just much slower. When you have chronic glucose spikes, free sugar molecules float around in your blood and attach themselves to proteins. They essentially glaze the protein. These new, sticky, damaged proteins are called AGEs, or Advanced Glycation End Products. The protein most susceptible to this? It's collagen. You know, collagen is what keeps your face firm and youthful. When sugar attaches to collagen, it makes the collagen fibers brittle and stiff. They snap. This results in deep wrinkles and sagging skin. A pivotal study in clinical dermatology back in 2010 confirmed that higher glucose levels are visible on the face as perceived aging. You are quite literally caramelizing your collagen. So, how do we stop this without starving ourselves? I want to give you 3 tools that use biology to hack your physiology. Tool number 1 involves a bottle you probably have in your pantry: vinegar. Specifically, consuming 1 tablespoon of vinegar. Apple cider vinegar is great, but any vinegar works. Dilute it in a tall glass of water about 10 to 20 minutes before you eat a high-carb meal. This sounds like an old wives' tale, but the mechanism is fascinatingly scientific. Inside your saliva and stomach, there is an enzyme called alpha amylase. Its job is to chop up starch into pure glucose. Imagine alpha amylase as a pair of scissors, turning a long chain of pasta into tiny individual sugar molecules that hit your bloodstream faster. The acetic acid in the vinegar acts like a temporary handcuff for those scissors. It slows down the alpha amylase. A study in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition in 2005 found that vinegar supplementation lowered the glucose and insulin response to a meal by nearly 30%. You are eating the exact same food, but your body is absorbing the sugar slower, meaning less of a spike, less insulin, and less glycation. Tool number 2 is about sequencing. Most of us sit down to a meal and take a bite of bread, then a bite of meat, then a bite of salad. We mix it all up. However, if you want to flatten your glucose curve, the order in which you eat matters more than you think. The golden rule is, fiber first, protein and fat second, starches and sugars last. Here is the visual I want you to have. Imagine your stomach is a sink, and your intestine is the drain pipe. If you pour water into the sink first, it rushes straight down the drain, into your blood. But if you eat your vegetables first, let's say some broccoli or a green salad, that fiber creates a physical mesh or a web over the drain in your stomach. It creates a viscous barrier. This slows down the rate at which the rest of the food leaves the stomach. When you eat the carbohydrates last, they have to push through that fiber mesh. They enter your bloodstream as a slow trickle rather than a tsunami. A 2015 study from Cornell University published in Diabetes Care showed that simply changing the order of foods, eating the carb last, reduced the post-meal glucose spike by 73% compared to eating the carb first. That is as powerful as some medications, just by waiting 10 minutes to eat the bread. Now, let's talk about the most critical meal of the day. And no, I don't care if you eat breakfast or practice intermittent fasting, but when you break your fast, it must be savory. In the Western world, we have normalized dessert for breakfast. Cereal, muffins, toast with jam, orange juice. This is pure sugar. When you spike your glucose first thing in the morning, you set off a roller coaster that lasts all day. You spike, you crash, you get hungry, you eat sugar again, you spike, you crash. By switching to a savory breakfast, think eggs, avocados, leftovers from dinner, Greek yogurt with nuts, you stabilize your blood sugar. But there is a neurotransmitter effect here too. A sweet breakfast triggers a massive dopamine hit, the reward chemical. This trains your brain to crave that high again by 11 a.m. A high-protein, savory breakfast supports satiety hormones like peptide YY. A 2019 study in Nutrients highlighted that a high-protein breakfast significantly reduced cravings and energy intake later in the day compared to a high-carb breakfast. You aren't fighting willpower, you are fixing your hormones. Finally, we have to talk about the invisible spike. I have patients who come to me and say, "Doctor, I ate perfectly today. I had no sugar. But my continuous glucose monitor shows a massive spike at 4 p.m. Why is this happening?" The answer is stress. Your body has a survival mechanism. If a lion is chasing you, you need energy now. Your body releases cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones tell your liver to dump its stored glucose into the bloodstream to fuel your muscles for the escape. But today, there is no lion. There is just an angry email from your boss or traffic on the highway. You are sitting still, but your blood is flooded with sugar because of stress. A study in psychoneuroendocrinology way back in 2000 demonstrated how psychological stress directly mobilizes glucose. If you are stressed, you are eating sugar from the inside. This is why deep breathing, walking, and stress management are actually metabolic health strategies. Here is the doctor's verdict. We are not talking about these spikes to make you afraid of fruit or terrified of a piece of cake. We are talking about this so you can have control. The goal isn't a flat line, that means you're in heaven. The goal is a gentle rolling hill. By adding vinegar, changing your food order, choosing a savory breakfast, and managing stress, you prevent the glycation that ages you and the crash that ruins your day. You stop cooking your insides, and you start fueling your life. I want you to try just one of these hacks today. Maybe it's the veggie starter, maybe it's the savory breakfast. Try it, and see if your brain fog vanishes. Watch this video suggestion, it was especially picked for you. Also share, comment, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It helps a ton with the algorithm. Remain tuned for future videos to empower your health and fitness journey. So, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep going.